Imagine this. It's 2 days after Christmas. You're scrolling through social media, expecting to see the usual holiday posts, maybe some snow-covered yards or kids in pajamas. But then you see it, your sister's caption, "Best Christmas Ever." And there, in the photos, is your parents' living room, transformed into a winter wonderland overflowing with gifts. But wait, you weren't there. You weren't invited, and just like that, your heart sinks. Let me take you back a few weeks. It was early December, and I was folding laundry in the quiet of my living room when my phone buzzed. A text from my mom popped up. "Hey, sweetie, just a heads up, Christmas is going to be simple this year. Money's tight, so we won't be doing big gifts, just the essentials." I stared at those words, my fingers tightening around a worn-out towel. It wasn't a shock, really. My parents had always been practical about Christmas. No extravagant trees, no piles of presents, just enough to get by. But this time, something felt off. It wasn't just the idea of cutting back, it was the way the message landed, like a door closing before I even had a chance to knock. Still, I swallowed it down. "Of course, no worries," I typed back, forcing a smile even though no one could see it. "The kids will understand." Because what else could I say? My husband David and I weren't rolling in cash either. We're a regular family, stretched thin by bills and life. But every year, we made Christmas special for our twins, Mia and Lucas. We'd save up little by little, picking out gifts that weren't flashy but thoughtful. Legos for Lucas, art supplies for Mia, wrapped with care in dollar store paper. It wasn't extravagant, but it was ours, and it felt magical. So I let Mom's text slide, convincing myself it didn't matter. Family's not about gifts, right? It's about being together. That's what I told myself. That's what I believed. Until December 27th hit me like a punch to the gut. It was a lazy afternoon. The kids were sprawled on the living room floor, clicking their new toys together, while David tinkered with a leaky faucet in the kitchen. I was curled up on the couch, scrolling through my phone, just passing the time. And then I saw it. "Best Christmas ever!" My sister's post glowed on the screen. A carousel of photos that stopped me cold. The first image was my parents' living room, but it wasn't the plain, practical space I knew. A massive tree twinkled with white lights, its branches sagging under gold and red ornaments that screamed money. Gifts spilled across the floor, wrapped in shimmering silver and gold paper, like something out of a magazine. And there, smack in the middle, were my nieces, my sister's two girls, ripping into presents that weren't just nice, but extravagant. Designer sneakers, high-end electronics, a shiny new tablet clutched in my youngest niece's hands. I froze, my breath catching in my throat. We hadn't been invited. No one had breathed a word about a family Christmas. For us, it had been quiet. Just David, the twins, and me around our little table, eating a simple ham dinner, exchanging our modest gifts, and watching Elf on the couch until the kids fell asleep. No grandparents, no cousins, no celebration beyond our four walls. Because apparently, we weren't part of the family this year. I scrolled again, my hands trembling, hoping I'd gotten it wrong. Maybe these were old photos, a recycled post from last year. But the timestamp glared back at me. December 25th, this Christmas. I flipped to my messages. Nothing from Mom, nothing from Dad. No invite, no heads up, not even a casual, "Wish you were here." Had they even thought about Mia and Lucas while they watched my nieces unwrap what must have been hundreds, maybe thousands of dollars in gifts? Had they even cared? The betrayal hit me like a wave, cold and suffocating. I didn't want to jump to conclusions. Maybe there was an explanation, but deep down, I knew. They hadn't just lied about the money or the gifts. They'd lied about what we meant to them. I wasn't mad at my nieces. They're kids, innocent in all this. I wasn't even mad at my sister. I'd accepted long ago that she was the golden child. But my parents? The ones who raised me, who preached that Christmas was about family, not things. They'd chosen to exclude us, to let my kids believe there was no money for them while they showered my sister's family with everything. That wasn't a mistake. That was a slap in the face. I've spent my whole life feeling like the second choice in my family. Growing up, it was always my sister in the spotlight. Her bigger birthday parties, her new bike while I got her hand-me-downs, her dance recitals where Mom and Dad clapped like she'd won an Oscar while my honor roll certificates barely got a nod. I'd tell myself it wasn't on purpose, that I was imagining it, that they loved us equally in their own way. But over time, the pattern became impossible to ignore. I remember one Christmas when I was 10. My sister got a shiny dollhouse complete with tiny furniture and working lights, something she'd begged for all year. I got a sweater 2 sizes too big that I'd never asked for. Mom smiled and said, "It's practical, Daisy. You'll grow into it." I nodded, swallowing the lump in my throat, because even then, I didn't want to seem ungrateful. But I saw the way they fussed over my sister's gift, snapping photos, beaming with pride, while my sweater sat folded in a corner, forgotten. It wasn't just the gifts, it was everything. When I graduated high school, they threw her a party for making the cheer squad the same week, and my ceremony got a quick, "Good job, honey," over dinner. When I had Mia and Lucas, they'd visit my sister's girls first, cooing over them for hours, while my twins got a rushed half hour before they'd leave. I'd make excuses. They're busy, they don't mean it. I'm overthinking it, because admitting the truth hurt too much. But this Christmas? This was different. This wasn't just favoritism. This was exclusion. A lie so blatant it ripped through every excuse I'd ever made. They'd told me money was tight, that we'd all have a simple holiday, while behind my back, they turned their home into a gift-wrapped paradise for my sister's family. My kids got a few small toys and a story about tough times, while my nieces got a Christmas straight out of a movie, and I wasn't even worth a phone call. The days after that discovery were a fog. I'd catch myself staring at the wall, replaying Mom's text in my head, "Money's tight," while those photos burned behind my eyes. I kept it together for Mia and Lucas, smiling through bedtime stories, but inside, I was unraveling. David saw it. One night, as we tucked the kids in, he asked, "You okay?" His voice was soft, careful, like he knew I was a thread away from snapping. "Yeah, just tired," I lied, kissing Mia's forehead before turning off the light. He didn't push, but I felt his eyes on me later, watching as I sat on the couch, lost in my head. How do you say it out loud? "My parents don't care about me." How do you admit that you weren't just overlooked, you were erased? I waited for them to reach out, some part of me clinging to hope. Maybe Mom would call with an apology, or Dad would text something clumsy but sincere. But days passed, and my phone stayed silent. Then my sister's name lit up the screen. I let it ring, then it rang again and again, until a text popped up. "I saw that you blocked Mom and Dad. What is wrong with you?" No, "I'm sorry." No, "Let's talk." Just blame, sharp and cold. I stared at it, my pulse thudding in my ears. What was wrong with me? David found me on our bed, clutching my phone so tight my knuckles were white. "They didn't even try to deny it," I whispered. He sat beside me, his presence steady. "They knew what they were doing, Daisy, and they don't care that it hurt you." I exhaled, shaky and raw. "I keep thinking maybe I got it wrong. Maybe there's a reason." He shook his head, firm but gentle. "Stop. Stop making excuses for them. They made a choice." And he was right. They'd chosen my sister, her kids, a lie over us. It wasn't an accident, it was deliberate. The next day, I texted my sister back. "They told me they couldn't afford gifts for my kids, but they could afford a full celebration for yours. Luxury gifts, decorations, a party. Well, we got nothing, not even an invite. Explain that." Her reply came fast. "It's not a big deal, Daisy. Mom and Dad just wanted to do something nice for the girls. You're overreacting." Overreacting. That word sank into me like a stone. This wasn't about Christmas anymore. This was how they saw me. Less than. Disposable. I typed one last message. "I hope your girls had a great Christmas. Mine settled for small and simple because that's what I was told we could afford. Now I know where I stand. Don't contact me again." I hit send, deleted the thread, and blocked her too. Not out of spite, but because I was done. Done begging for love. Done pretending I mattered to them. The silence after that was deafening. No calls, no texts, just an empty space where my family used to be. I'd reach for my phone sometimes, half expecting Mom's name to pop up with a, "Sweetie, let's fix this." but it never did. They didn't regret it. They didn't even try. Then the gossip started. A friend mentioned my sister venting about me. Another said Mom was upset. Upset? She'd cut us out, and she was upset? Then David came home one night, his jaw tight. "Your dad called me." "What did he say?" I asked, bracing myself. "He's worried you're acting irrationally, cutting off the family." I laughed, short and bitter. "So I'm irrational, not the ones who lied and left my kids out?" David nodded. "I told him you're done being treated like you don't matter. He said you don't cut off family no matter what." "No matter what?" I repeated, anger simmering. "Even if they lie? Even if they hurt you?" David didn't need to answer. We both knew the truth. They expected me to take it, like always, while they put my sister first. That night, I dug out old photo albums, flipping through years of memories. My sister front and center, me on the edges, birthdays, holidays, milestones. I'd spent decades telling myself it was in my head, but it wasn't. I closed the book, done pretending. The next morning, I sat Mia and Lucas down at the kitchen table. Lucas frowned. "Mommy, what's wrong?" "I want to talk about family," I said, steadying my breath. Mia's eyes widened. "Are we in trouble?" "No, sweetheart," I smiled. "But I learned something I wish I'd known sooner." They leaned in, curious. "Family isn't just who you're related to. It's who shows up, who loves you. Always." Lucas tilted his head. "Like you and Daddy?" "Exactly," I said, squeezing his hand. Mia bit her lip. "Is this about Grandma and Grandpa?" I nodded. "Yes." They glanced at each other. They'd noticed more than I thought. Lucas poked his cereal. "They didn't come for Christmas." "And they didn't get us anything," Mia added, quiet. "They love you," I said, careful. "But sometimes people don't show it right. And when they keep hurting you, you decide if they stay in your life." Lucas frowned. "Like when someone's mean at school and won't stop?" "Yes," I said, my heart twisting, "just like that." Mia paused, then asked, "So, are we still seeing them?" I looked at my kids, feeling the weight settle. "No, we're not." Tears welled in Mia's eyes, not for them, but for understanding. She nodded. "Okay." Lucas grinned. "Can we make pancakes now?" I laughed, tears slipping free. "Yes, baby." As they ran off, giggling about syrup, I felt it, a shift. I wasn't fixing their mess anymore. I was breaking the cycle, and that was my gift to my kids. 2 weeks of silence followed, a fragile peace. Then a letter arrived, Mom's handwriting on the envelope. I opened it despite myself. "Daisy, sweetheart," it started. I stopped, anger flaring. "Sweetheart? After everything?" "I don't understand why you're doing this. We're family. We never meant to hurt you. You're overreacting." Overreacting. Again. "We didn't have enough for everyone," she wrote. "Your sister needed help. Why are you punishing us?" I laughed, cold and sharp. They had money for my niece's luxury Christmas, but not for us. I trashed it. Then my aunt, Mom's sister, texted, "Your mom's crying, Daisy. She loves you. Why are you so harsh?" Classic guilt trip. Where were Mom's tears when my kids got nothing? I replied, "She's upset because I stood up for myself. If you don't get that, stop being her messenger." The last straw was a Facebook message from Mom's old friend. "She's devastated, Daisy. Life's too short for grudges." Grudges. This was a boundary. I wrote back, "If she's heartbroken, it's because she got treated how she treated me." That night, David found me on the couch, phone down. "More guilt trips?" he asked. "Yep. You okay?" I thought about it. "Yeah," I said, surprised. I wasn't waiting for them anymore. I was free. He squeezed my hand. "Good." And it was. 2 months later, the quiet felt normal. Dinners with my little family, no shadow of obligation. Then Aunt Linda, Dad's sister, texted, "I see you, Daisy. Dinner's open if you want." No guilt, just kindness. I replied, "That'd be nice," feeling a flicker of hope. We went to Linda's that weekend. Her home was warm, simple, alive with laughter. She hugged Mia and Lucas, handed them hot chocolate, and pulled me aside. "I don't agree with what they did," she said. Tears stung my eyes. "They don't think they're wrong." "That's them," she sighed. "They expect forgiveness without owning up." "They hurt my kids," I whispered. "And you're protecting them." she said. That's right. Why does it still hurt? Because you're good, Daisy, but stop waiting. They won't change. She was right. That night, Linda's family became ours. Board games, easy talk, no proving myself. Driving home, David asked, You okay? I smiled at my sleeping kids in the mirror. Yeah. Family was who showed up. Spring brought clarity. I stopped bracing for their calls. 4 months after Christmas, another letter came. David held it up. Want it? I tossed it, unflinching. That easy? He asked. Yeah, I grinned. I'd learned family isn't forever. It's who makes you feel loved. Mine hadn't. Easter at Linda's sealed it. Egg hunts, coffee on the porch. This is nice, she said. Family. I agreed. She added, I know you might miss them. I didn't. I missed the idea, not the reality. That night, I deleted their photos, not angry, just done. The next day, Mia asked, Will we see Grandma and Grandpa again? I paused. I don't know, baby. Lucas piped up. Do you miss them? No, I said. I love what we have now more. Mia nodded, and it was enough. A year later, I'd built something better. Love, respect, new traditions. The best revenge, happiness. I'd found it. If this hit home, if you've ever chased love from people who didn't give it back, know you're not alone. The toughest choices can set you free. Like this video if it spoke to you, share it with someone who gets it, and subscribe for more stories like this. Drop a comment. Tell me your family story. Let's lift each other up.